Hello, little nerds. I am Dr. Shereene Idriss, a board-certified dermatologist based in New York City. My hair has taken a beating because I was recently just massaging my head with this baby, which is an electric brush that allows you to deliver a medication to your scalp, and it is oh so heavenly. But I think I just bypassed the most important part of the introduction. Today's video is going to be covering drugstore hacks for hair conditions ranging from oily scalp to dry scalp to hair loss to dandruff, you name it, psoriasis. We are covering it because chances are if you have one of these conditions, you're probably also experiencing hair loss. But before I jump into the juicy portion of the video, if you haven't subscribed yet to my channel, you gotta subscribe to this channel if you know it's good for you. Subscribe, like the video, leave a comment below. If you're so inclined, just say hello. I will read all the comments. I do read all the comments. I may no longer be able to reply to all the comments because I will get a carpal tunnel, but know that I read them. With that being said, there's two housekeeping things before we start. Number one, March 13th marks the last day that you can vote on Allure's website for their Reader's Choice Awards. My little baby, mon petit bébé, ma bébé, the Depuffer, is a product I created. It is a arnica-based serum that is married to a roller, is nominated underneath the breakthrough category. When you click that, it is the fourth question, and we are the last product mentioned, so you gotta scroll down to actually vote for us. I should vote for this in order for it to be a win, not just for me, but also for the community. My nose is itchy. That's number one. Number two, March 12th is a very big day for the brand and for the Pillow Talk Derm community. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, head on over to dridriss.com and subscribe to the newsletter so that you will be the first to know with hopefully something to gain. So without further ado, we're going to jump in. Have you guys seen those videos of people heading to Korea and going to visit these hair spas where it looks like they're undergoing a car wash, but the car is indeed their scalp? Like they have water being rinsed through their scalps, they're getting massages, pictures are taken of their scalp, and you see the before and after. And when the person walks out of the salon, they look like a different human, and I'm convinced that a face is photoshopped onto the different person because there's no way it's the same person. Well, today you're in luck because there are some $10 gems in this video that really rival what you would get in those viral head spa videos, minus the plane ticket and the additional expense of having to pay for room and board. You guys will be winning. So starting with number one, if your scalp is itchy and tight due to a lack of moisture, you may have dry scalp. And dry scalp is often caused by environmental factors like cold weather, low humidity, or even sometimes excess washing with harsh shampoos. Although the excess washing can sometimes also lead to a counter effect of increased oil production. It can go both ways depending on you, your biology, your genetics, etc. And if hydrating shampoos are not working for you, I have a hack. And the hack comes in the form of glycolic acid. And this particular dispense mechanism is ideal. It's almost like when you dye your hair and you can put it through onto different sections of your hair and massage your scalp to allow it to get in. Why is glycolic acid interesting? Because glycolic acid, as you guys most definitely know, is an AHA. It is the smallest AHA that goes the deepest. At 7%, she's not going to be that strong or that irritating, but glycolic acid will help to hold onto moisture to your scalp. So it's going to help to hydrate your scalp in the process, and it is a beautiful exfoliant that's going to gently get rid of any dead cells that are not getting shed correctly so that you do not have buildup on your scalp. She's not exactly a drugstore product, but she rivals one in price, if not beats it. I don't know if you guys have been to the drugstore lately, but things have gotten out of hand, wackadoo expensive. Now this brush is expensive. I did buy it on TikTok at like 2 a.m. when I was scrolling because I couldn't sleep. And although it is a beautiful device because it massages this, I mean, this is like, I could watch this all day. Just don't be fooled. I don't think the LED lights do anything for this. It just is a beautiful device in terms of massaging the scalp. But the interesting thing with this brush is that there is a compartment in the back right here. See how I pulled that down? Where you can put a serum, an oil, whatever it is in there. And when you close it, that comes out at the tips of the brush. And so when you are massaging your scalp, just totally enjoying life, because this is absolutely just, I could fall asleep right now. You know that you're getting any of the serum or the oil or even maybe potentially the shampoo. I haven't tested it with shampoo, through the brush onto your scalp and massaging the product into your scalp. So if you're looking to really make sure that you are getting adequate distribution of a product through your scalp, I have nothing to gain from these people. I don't even know where they're based out of. I think they are a knockoff of a Dyson, a knockoff in terms of design of a Dyson product, but it is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful device to add to your scalp routine. Number 2, if your problem is the opposite of a dry scalp, if you have constantly greasy, overly shiny, overly heavy hair after washing, maybe with some flakes, maybe without some flakes, but just your problem is truly oiliness, and you literally run your hands through your hair an hour after washing and you feel like they're heavy with a heavy residue, chances are you have an oily scalp. And this can also be due to genetics, environmental factors, stress, changes in your diet, as well as over washing or over styling your hair. So if you have an oily scalp, instead of glycolic acid, you want to use a BHA like salicylic acid, because salicylic acid is oil loving and it's going to help your scalp regulate sebum production. I have a few options of salicylic acid, right? I have number 1, a salicylic acid shampoo. This is the Neutrogena T-Sal Scalp Therapy Anti-Dandruff Shampoo with scalp buildup control and 2.5% salicylic acid. If you're going to use the shampoo, just make sure that you massage it to your scalp to really get in on your scalp so it can do the thing it needs to do. Neutrogena also has a T-Sal, which has, I think, salicylic acid at 3%. Okay, so the T-Sal is at 3%. This is at 2.5%. I will tell you guys that this one, the shampoo, smells nice. I was shocked because it is with apple cider vinegar. And so I do not associate the scent of apple cider vinegar as a refreshing scent, but the scent of the shampoo is actually quite refreshing. And you know what? I may try it out tomorrow. So this is their Scalp Therapy Anti-Dandruff. It's not their T-Sal. The other form of salicylic acid comes exactly like the glycolic acid in a push, toggle, whatever you want to call it. This is from CVS. It's nothing fancy. It's generic. It's their 3% salicylic acid scalp relief dropper, like the glycolic, but instead of glycolic, it's sal acid. Equally, you can put this in the compartment of the brush. Now, this is where things get fun. We got Differin and we got Versed. These are salicylic acid sprays. I actually think the Differin spray, although it looks more robust than the Versed, sucks. So if you're gonna go for a salicylic acid spray for your scalp, watch the beautiful time on this spray. That is a beautiful spray mixture. So you could spray this throughout your scalp and even on certain body parts, like if you break out and you're oily on your back or your chest, it's always easier than having to get somebody to apply something to your back or your chest. Maybe not your chest. You could take care of your chest. You usually need to find somebody to take care of your back. But with this, you don't. And you can apply it throughout your scalp and massage it into your scalp. And this way, you don't necessarily need this guy, because when you're spraying something, there's better diffusion than versus applying it to different sections of your scalp. And I would tell you, I tend to wash my hair in the morning because I shower in the morning. If I were to do these as treatments, I would apply them the night before. Now, if you shower at night and you don't want to spend all day with acid and stuff on your scalp, maybe apply it an hour before jumping into the shower. If you're doing it with this brush, you could probably spend 2 hours brushing your scalp. It's amazing, but let it get the face time or the scalp time that it needs with the product, okay? If your problem is something different, like you have oily flakes, and they are sometimes even accompanied by itching, and you can't help yourself, and maybe it's even like around your ears, and you might notice something on your eyebrows or on the side of your nose, you might have dandruff, aka seborrheic dermatitis. Now, can you use one of the exfoliating acids when you have dandruff? Absolutely. And most people who have dandruff tend to have oilier scalps. And that's why the scalp therapy, the anti-dandruff, is interesting because it's salicylic acid, not glycolic acid, because they have oily scalps. But if you have dandruff that's associated with the larger flakes, eyebrows, nasolabial folds, and scalp, and you have that itch, you want to use an antifungal shampoo. One that I love is Nizoral. This is a ketoconazole shampoo at 1%. I even use this as a face wash, and I tell patients, my husband included, but he doesn't take my advice, to apply it to your eyebrows, your nose, your nasolabial folds, and let it sit for 5 minutes before you wash it off. Take a dump, take a phone call, answer an email, then go wash it off. In the shower, when you are using it on your scalp, most people put the shampoo, rinse right away. If you can apply it to your scalp before even going into the shower, like right here, imagine I were like ready to get showered. I was going to say imagine I were naked, but don't imagine. You don't need to do that, okay? But imagine I'm about to jump into the shower. I would apply the shampoo, I'd massage my scalp, and then I would go in and take a shower. That's how you should use this, okay? It is a beautiful product. It might dry your hair a bit. It might. But the good news is if you have dandruff, and you have really oily scalp, you might have started to experience hair loss or increased hair loss. Ketoconazole has been shown to help increase hair growth, and I am gonna link my video below to hair loss solutions. And let's say you are somebody with dandruff, but you have a dry scalp, because that's also possible. Not because you have dandruff does it mean that you always have an oily scalp. There is anti-dandruff shampoos that are geared towards people with dry scalp. This is one from CVS. It is their daily dandruff shampoo with parathion zinc at 1%. Now, parathion zinc is also found in Head and Shoulders, which is a leading dandruff shampoo on the market. This is a generic one. The reason I gravitated towards this one is because it was written itchy, dry scalp, and it has moisturizing daily properties for your scalp and your hair. So it's going to help moisturize your scalp while delivering the antifungal parathion zinc to your scalp to help with the yeast that is responsible for the dandruff. Selenium sulfide also has antifungal properties, and that comes in the form of Selsun Blue. So you can definitely find different versions of shampoos that can help address dandruff and hair loss. If you're somebody who has a little bit of intensely severe dandruff, maybe take a little bit of each and mix them together and apply it to your scalp if you don't feel like one alone isn't working, but also reevaluate how long you're allowing that to have contact time with your scalp before you wash it off. And so those are the anti-dandruff shampoos. But dandruff, which comes in the forms of flakes, can also oftentimes be confused for psoriasis. Psoriasis is an autoimmune condition where your body doesn't regenerate itself correctly. The skin doesn't, and it holds on to itself, and it creates these scaly, silvery plaques that can appear in clumps throughout your scalp, but also on your body, like your elbows, your knees, throughout your body, even your face. It can appear pretty much anywhere. But when it affects your scalp, it can really be debilitating from an emotional standpoint because you just can't feel like you can keep up with the buildup of the flakes, and it can look like you just have really bad dandruff, but it's not dandruff, it's indeed psoriasis. The other thing with psoriasis, it sometimes affects the inner ears as well, and that becomes a combination of SIBO psoriasis, where you kind of have a little bit of psoriasis, a little bit of dandruff mixed together. Can you use the shampoos that we kind of talked about tonight and the different hacks? Yeah, you can absolutely use salicylic acid to help regulate your scalp. If you have psoriasis and a dry scalp, you can use the glycolic acid and it might help on the margin. You can use the scalp therapy anti-dandruff shampoo because of the salicylic acid in here. That helps. But Neutrogena also has a tea gel shampoo, and that has coal tar. It smells like road pavement on a day where they are putting down the road pavement because of the coal, but it has anti-inflammatory actions which will calm down the inflammation on your scalp and help your scalp heal itself better. It also has anti-proliferative action to reduce the thickness of the psoriatic plaques and also to help relieve itching, and it's a keratolytic, so it's going to break down the plaques as they are there. And it will also help with dandruff if you have dandruff. Now, if your psoriasis is so out of control and it's itchy, you guys can get an over-the-counter hydrocortisone. Literally, you can use that on your scalp to see if it helps. It's probably not strong enough. You probably need a more potent steroid sort of prescription, but something is better than nothing. And if you don't have access to a doctor or to get a prescription, try an over-the-counter hydrocortisone to the spots on your scalp to see if it helps relieve that itch. There you have it. Those are my hair hacks from the drugstore for several different conditions. I hope it was helpful. I hope you learned something, and I hope it helps you have a healthier, fresher, cleaner feeling scalp after you watch this video. It's almost midnight, but I hope to see you guys next week or on Instagram throughout the week, because Tuesday is a huge day and Wednesday is a big day for all of us because you guys have to vote. And there's a lot of exciting things coming up in our little Pillow Talk Derm world. Have a beautiful Saturday, guys, and I will see you next week.